Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Wk6.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Newton now to throw. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
second down, Peterson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a handoff working right. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Newton. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
Come on now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rear-view mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Here we go. Gun. Hey.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And from down in Miami, an update. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
3-19.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
And off comes to Peterson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back
Green,
live,
39.
Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Leopard. Leopard. All right, here we go. Boom.
They'll set up a throw. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Panthers will get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
He's going to loft one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping a tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Newton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Airing it out for Olsen. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They give it to Peterson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. It's brought in by Dodson. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Now let's go. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. They give him a gain of 37.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Adrian Peterson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And the Panthers, who were the least penalized team in the entire NFL last year, come up here on a 1st and 15. Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And this one is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Newton, eluding the pressure right. The open man is Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Newton now to throw. Under a heavy push, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there for Washington. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he lost the football.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Right back to him on 1st down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
20. Great.
Newton to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interceptions so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll be brought down right around the 37th. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On play action, they'll throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. Touchdown! Washington. Paul Richardson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
And they'll run it here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. And they'll go on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go. Come on, come on, come on.
Now Artis Payne. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And Gano's kick is right through. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a game. Men and women on our crew,